What's going on, everyone? GenjiGear here, and today we're going to talk about whether or not women can become Witchers. Since the Witcher 4 trailer dropped and revealed that Ciri is going to be the new protagonist in The Witcher 4, a lot of people have been critical of CD Projekt Red, saying that they've gone woke, and that they're breaking the lore from the books by making Ciri a Witcher. To get technical here, for those of you that don't know really what that means or where that's coming from, the Witchers are mutated in this trial called the Trial of the Grasses, and it allows them to take these potions that would otherwise be poison. So in the trailer, you see Ciri taking these potions. They do things like enhance your reflexes, enhance your sight, all these types of things that if you were a normal human, it would kill you, but Witchers can take them and they gain these temporary advantages. And you see Ciri taking these potions, so it's implied that she went through the Trial of the Grasses. And a lot of people are saying women can't be Witchers, they can't go through the Trial of the Grasses. And a lot of people are criticizing this because there are not any female Witchers in the books. All of the books have just male Witchers in the video games. And to be honest, if you look at a lot of games today, a lot of modern games are doing this gender swap thing. You can see it in Ghost of Yōtei. Obviously, The Last of Us infamously did this. And there's a lot of games that have generally male fan bases where the devs seem to be just artificially pushing female protagonists in a way that just doesn't seem genuine. It seems like it is forced, it's coming from some outside ideology and modern politics, and people are just really sensitive to that, and I absolutely can sympathize. I totally get that. I think a great example of this is 40K. In 40K, women cannot become Space Marines. They can't become Custodes. But because Amazon was trying to make a TV show and they wanted their show to be politically correct and diverse to fill some quotas they have at their studios, it seemed that Games Workshop was pressured to go back on the lore that they've already established over 30 years now, saying now that females can become Custodes. And changes like this just don't feel genuine. I know you can criticize people and say that they're sexist and that they're just bigots, all you want, but at the end of the day, fans can feel when a change isn't genuine. So I get why people would be skeptical of Ciri being the new protagonist in The Witcher 4. But being a fan of the Witcher series myself, I think this fear is a little bit unfounded. First off, the books never say that girls can't become Witchers. The only mention of it is that when the Witchers were being created, which, long story short, Witchers are created by sorcerers, kind of like this mad scientist thing to make these superhuman monster fighting machines. But anyways, the books mention that they did try the Trial of the Grasses for these mutations on women, but the women died, so they just stopped doing it. And it turns out that for males, it was successful. And in my interpretation of that, it's probably just a percentile thing. It may be something like 2 out of 20 male Witchers survive the Trial of the Grasses. I think that's about actually what the percentage is. And it might be something more like 2 out of 200 women survive the trial, but they didn't go through and kill 200 women to get there. They just stopped. And characters in the Witcher series also behave like this is true. I was just reading through the first book in the mainline novels, and I've already listened to this on audiobook, but I found this at Goodwill for like $2, so I've been reading through it again. And in the first chapter, or the second chapter, in one of the very early chapters, Triss is going to Kaer Morhen where the Witchers are, and she sees Ciri out in the forest, and she's surprised that it's a girl because all of the Witchers are males, but she doesn't think, oh, this girl can't be a Witcher. She actually is wondering, why did they ask me to come to Kaer Morhen? And she thought maybe they want me to try to figure out how to make Ciri a Witcher. Because the process to become a Witcher was lost long ago, but there's, I guess, sorcerer notes or like laboratory equipment in Kaer Morhen. She thought that maybe the Witcher's there. We're gonna give her access to that and try to see if they could make Ciri a Witcher. And she didn't say, oh, but it won't work. She did think maybe she would die, but she didn't say, oh, that's impossible. Girls can't become Witchers. She thought that was a legitimate option, that maybe she was going to try and make Ciri become a Witcher. So just right off the bat there, it's not impossible for women to become Witchers, it's just extremely uncommon and they don't try it. Another side note, in the tabletop RPG game that lasted for a few years or something, they actually do have female Witchers in that game, and take that for how you want, you know, it is official lore, but I mean, I don't know. Another reason why people are worried about this and that they are afraid of CD Projekt Red going woke is because there have been developers that have left CD Projekt Red and are starting their own studios. And these games look cool. I mean, I'm really excited. I love that. But if you look at the main writers that were on The Witcher 3, that were on Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, which were all just some of the best games of the last decade, those main writers are still there, and they are the ones doing The Witcher 4. So I get it. I get how this can be constructed, and you can say that, hey, this is CD Projekt Red going down this path of trying to pander to modern audiences. And to be honest, as a Witcher fan, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't want that to happen. I don't think it's going to happen though, but I can understand the fear and the speculation people have. But another thing that cements the idea that this game is going to most likely be pretty good is that Ciri is the natural choice and natural successor for the Witcher series. Like I said, I've been reading these books again, and guess what? All of these books are about Ciri. There's the short stories that really have nothing to do with her, except for obviously the Law Surprise one that has very much to do with her, but all of the novels are just centered around Ciri. Like, all of the chapters in this book are just like people in rooms talking about Ciri. If you play the games, you play The Witcher 3, it's all about finding Ciri. Like, that's like half of the Witcher lore is just Geralt trying to find Ciri and training her and developing her and being that father figure that is helping make her become the person that she is in the world. So it's very natural that the next game would be, okay, that has happened, Geralt succeeded, Ciri is now become an adult, she is her own person, he's protected her over the years, and now let's see what Ciri's story is. What is she going to do with it? And if they had Ciri as the main protagonist, but she wasn't the Witcher, she wasn't a Witcher, as a Witcher fan of the games, I don't want to play The Witcher without playing a Witcher, right? So it doesn't seem like this is something, you know, like in the case of Warhammer or these other games where they're doing this gender swap for some outside reasons. It's like, I think they want Ciri to be a Witcher because they want you to play as a Witcher, because we as fans want to play as a Witcher. I think this is being done in a genuine good way and with goodwill. At least I definitely believe that right now. Like I said, if the game comes out and it's just a bunch of woke trash, like, I'll be the first to admit it. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Because after all, like I mentioned, CD Projekt Red has created The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. These are some of the best stories, best well-written, best voiced characters, like just amazing, like S-tier level writing and games. And we really have no reason to doubt them. Of course, people are gonna say, well, Cyberpunk came out and it was buggy. Yeah, sure. Or they're gonna say, oh, they overpromised. Sure, whatever. Phantom Liberty was amazing, and base Cyberpunk, story-wise, character-wise, was unreal amazing. And so was The Witcher 3. And until CD Projekt Red misses with that, until CD Projekt Red tells a bad story, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. That's it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm just full of crap? Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with me? Let me know. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.